Thought I'd take a little break from the garden chores this morning and just share some reflections and just a few things I was thinking about yesterday while I was picking strawberries, um, about our gardening, the reasons we garden, right? Everything we do, we have a why behind it. And I think the why we do something is usually more important than the how we do it, because the how will issue from why we do it. And so if we don't have a clear idea of why we're doing something, what we believe about how we're undertaking something, it's easy to get off course. And so I was thinking a few of those thoughts, also taking a break to uh, just watering everything almost constantly, or a constant rotation of watering till I get through all the gardens. Really dry spring this year. So as I was saying a moment earlier, why do you garden? And each of us probably garden for some similar and different reasons, but um, the one main concept I was thinking about yesterday was just, if we can use the analogy of warfare. um, you know the expression, all is fair in love and war. And we beat those warfare drums, and we think everything's okay because it's war against something. Now, when countries go to war, um, they're willing to engage in a lot of, we'll say, seemingly insane activities, whether it's nuking something or chemical release on people or biological warfare. And at any other time, we would say that's totally insanity for us to engage in these methods against each other. And one of the true pieces of insanity is that you could win the war, right? To the victor goes the spoils. And so you march into this nation that you conquered, and you have nothing but like nuclear waste. You have ruined cities, you have starvation, you have chaos, and you say, here's your prize. I don't know what kind of prize that is. It just seems like utter insanity. And so a lot of times humans go to such great lengths to win something, we don't stop to say, what are we winning? Is this okay? And many times it's not. A lot of times the victory is more costly than the loss, or even a stalemate. And so in our gardening, to bring this back around to gardening, a lot of times we want to win in gardening against all costs, right? We got to beat those bugs. We got to bring the earth into submission into our idea of a certain type of or amount of production. And we don't really count the cost of what winning that war is. So for me, my approach is, if I have to spray something with a chemical spray that's going to just kill everything, and after I've poisoned this food to the extent that the animal dies or the insect dies, and then I eat this poisoned food, it doesn't seem like a win. It might feel like that on the front end, but on the back end, there's going to be a lot of side effects from the I'm going to say side effects from the techniques that we're using. And so it's a problematic thing. And so again, we have to know why we're doing what we're doing, what our ultimate goal is. And so for me, the goal is health. One of the is better health is probably when I primarily got into gardening. And so if it's compromising my health just to get a plant, I'll eat something else, right? I'll eat something that doesn't have to be sprayed or anything like that. And then I'll keep trying to learn what I can do to make the system so healthy that possibly one day this thing will grow for me. Maybe it won't, but a lot of times in life we get what we accept. So if I accept that I'm just going to have to eat sprayed food, and it's going to harm my health, but that's the best it is. I'm not going to be looking, I'm not going to be trying. And so if I take the shortcut, I'll never find the actual route that was intended. So this health that we're seeking, these other ways that we're searching out, maybe I'll never find. Like saying you get what you settle for. It's not always the case, but often it works out that way. Using the analogy of warfare, so in society, not only do we have actual physical wars, we have the war against drugs, the war against COVID, the war against cancer, and we always use this word war. And again, because we think that all is fair in love and war, we think it justifies any means, and these are scary things, right? Drugs sound scary. COVID, all these things, scary, scary, scary. And so we've got to, at any means possible, we've got to have hysteria and fear, and we've got to fight it. Again, we got to take a big back step and say, is this a battle we should be engaged in at all? Is the cure possibly more deadly than the disease? Is the cure more deadly than the disease? I went to the doctor one time, and well, not just once, but one time a while back, and he said, "Yep, I think you got this. Here's your go to the pharmacy, get your drug." I went to the pharmacy, got the drug. I read the insert, and one of the side effects was possible blindness. So I thought, wow, my disease isn't near as bad as blindness, and I promptly threw the chemical drug in the trash can. So a lot of times we're tempted, so then we say, well, what if I have cancer? What if I have heart disease? Doesn't this justify really harsh, invasive methods? I think we have to go back to the warfare analogy. If you engage in using nuclear bombs against your opponent or diseases, those same diseases may come back to you. That nuclear waste site, this wreckage, that's what you've won. And in the most practical sense of warfare, you haven't won much, right? Other than to say that you did. And so in these battles against cancer and various diseases, you have to really say, is this chemical nuke, burn, radiate approach going to leave our body? It's going to leave our body in this war-ravaged state that's not going to be ready to fight using its natural immunity and more natural approaches like herbs and things of this sort. And I think I speak from firsthand experience. I mean, was diagnosed with Lyme's disease last spring. Had to use crutches, really out of it for a while. Little deer walking back here. I took the entirely herbal route, tried lots of different things, and feeling a lot better a year later. I'm not going to say I'm out of the woods yet. I know it's a nasty disease, it keeps coming back, but what do you call them? Flare-ups is a very common form. But anyhow, so we always have to. So in our quest for health, we get these nasty diseases. We have to have a really firm sense of why we're doing this, and if we're doing it for health, and then we're taking something in our bodies that's very damaging, and it obviously has this whole list of side effects, we're getting further from our end goal. We're getting focused on the how. How do I beat the disease? And it doesn't necessarily mean it beats the disease. If you beat your enemy, again, by nuking them, and there's all these the fallout from that, literally and metaphorically, is going to be worse than just the ease of dropping the bomb, right? We can drop the bomb on our body, we can drop the bomb in the garden, But we're going to have to live in that crater. So, sure, a lot more could be said, but that's the gist of it.